Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the Commission press room for our weekly readout session of the College decisions. The College today spent most of its time discussing the Commission contribution to the Malta summit, so I'm delighted to welcome once again in the press room High Representative Vice President Federica Mogherini and our Commissioner Dimitris Avramopoulos, who will present you the different components of this package. Before I give the floor to the High Representative Vice President, just to inform you that President Juncker will travel to Paris tomorrow afternoon to meet President Hollande ahead of the Malta summit, and he will have also working lunch with President of the European Council, Donald Tusk, on Friday, also to prepare the summit. So, without further ado, Federica, you have the floor.
Thank you. As you know very well, in the last 2 years, we've been working, I can add finally, very intensively to reduce human suffering and the loss of lives, especially in the Mediterranean, in the central Mediterranean. If I can give you a number, Operation Sophia alone saved last year more than 32,000 people and apprehended more than 100 smugglers. Still, last year we faced more than 4,500 losses of lives in the central Mediterranean route. And these are not numbers, these are persons with stories, names, and every single life counts. So this is why we thought it is essential that we all do more, all meaning all together. And this is why we presented today jointly a package of additional concrete measures to contribute to the Malta Summit discussion of the heads of state and government, and to suggest, as I said, concrete actions that can be done, that can bring some positive results, with an envelope of 200 million euros for 2017 to support these concrete actions. There is no magic solution, there is no immediate solution to manage a phenomenon that is complex, extremely complex, but there are things that can be usefully done. As I said, first of all, to save lives, disrupt the business model of the smugglers, and protect people. We know very well that the real long-term solution lies in two difficult things to achieve, but on which we are working daily. On one side, peace and stability in Libya, and I met just yesterday Martin Kobler, the UN Special Envoy for Libya, and I'll meet Prime Minister Serraj next week, just ahead of the Malta summit, because the diplomatic work of the European Union with the neighboring countries, with the African Union, with the Arab League, with the UN is going on constantly. We'll have this issue on the agenda of the next Foreign Affairs Council also. And the other side, the real solution comes with the economic development of Africa. And here also our daily work is going on with the migration compacts we're implementing with 5 key countries, with the external investment plan, with the trust funds, and the Valletta summits that last year we had with our African partners. So as work goes on these two main issues, main elements that will bring in the mid-long term the real solution to the problem, there are things we can do right now, more and more together, to improve the situation. I will for sure let Dimitris enter more in the details of some of the actions of the package. I will only highlight 3 elements of how we believe we can increase and improve our collective work to manage the central Mediterranean route. 1, increase the training of the Libyan coast guards. This is essential because the losses of lives we see are more and more in the territorial waters of Libya, and so it is a Libyan responsibility to prevent these losses of lives and to dismantle the traffickers' networks on the Libyan coasts and in the Libyan waters. So we are ready to help, to train, to support, in a sense of partnership, empowering and enabling the Libyan authorities to manage to do this work. And we're doing that already, but the proposal is to increase significantly the training of the Libyan Coast Guards. Second element, the work on the southern borders of Libya. Here again, we have started already a work trying to facilitate a common approach between Libya, Chad and Niger in particular, managing a complicated border through which migrants enter Libya, but that is also a sensitive border in terms of security for the neighbors of Libya to its south. We have, as you know, or as you might know, a presence there with missions and operations of the European Union that we are regionalizing so that we can provide more support to monitor and manage the southern border of Libya better from the inside and from the outside. Third element I would mention shortly is the important work that we can do to support the IOM and the UNHCR in their capacity or possibility to work inside Libya. We know very well that the situation of the migrants that are currently present in the country is a very serious one that needs to be tackled with the highest standards when it comes to human rights. By the way, human rights is always part of our programs, including the training of the Coast Guards in Libya. Human rights, and with a particular attention to women's rights, if I can underline this aspect, that is very important given the composition of the flows. But we've discussed and I've met in these last weeks both Filippo Grandi and the Director General of the IOM, Mr. Swing, to see how the European Union can support more both IOM and UNHCR in order for them to work more, to have more access, to work better inside Libya. That would be, for us, the only guarantee that international standards are met, lives are protected, and the management of the flow inside the country is done properly. Obviously, there are complicated issues to tackle, including security, and this is why we are working together, both, as I said, with the Libyan authorities, with Prime Minister Sarraj, but also with the municipalities, with Martin Kobler for the UN, with Grandi and with Swing, to see how we can more effectively allow them to work in this respect. I will finish by saying a general principle that guides us is, first of all, strengthening the Libyan authorities and their capacity to operate, and doing this in a sense of partnership. Respect and partnership is our guiding principle, as it is for our work with the compacts with our African partners. The same goes in this case, because we see a shared responsibility. We are here to help, we are here to support, we are here to do our part. We also need others to do their own part. But again, the sense is that of working together, each with our responsibilities and limits, but together to try and save lives, because we see people